Yeah, see, now it works. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? One thumbs down guy already? Whatever. How you doing? This is Dylan with Dylan Talks Tone. This is Leslie, and we are doing our weekly Q&A thing that we do every week. Basically, we take questions from Patreon and from YouTube members, the little join button down below, and we answer those first, throw them up on the screen. We also throw super chats up on the screen. And then if you have questions, get in the comments and the chat there and ask a bunch of questions with a bunch of question marks in front of it, and we'll try to get to those as well. We talk about guitar stuff until 9 p.m., which is 1 hour from now, depending on what time zone you're on. I realized just now that I've been saying 9 p.m. this whole time, and they might not even be. They might not even be on 1 hour. We're going to talk about guitar stuff. Then we're going to just kind of go off topic and talk about some other stuff. Stick around for that because there's a plan for next week's show that I want to tell you about that we've never done before since we started doing this, which is pretty cool. And then the other little bit of housekeeping that I have is do me a favor and go to the link in the description of this video and do the survey for the Dylan Talks Tone Best Gear of 2022 video that is coming out next week. I need as many of you to vote on that as possible so that we can do it. Already super chat.
Already. Super chat from Dastardly Dave. Thanks, Dave, for the super chat. He says, Merry Christmas, Dylan and Leslie and family. Have a drink on me.
Well, thank you so much. We will definitely do that. Sorry, we were hitting settings to the minute we started, so we're a little overexposed. Yeah, cool. Well, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this thumbnail bit also. That is part of the questions that we are asking and answering tonight. So do we want to just go through these questions? And then I arranged it so that the thumbnail is part of this last question that has been answered. I put it in that spot on purpose.
Oh, aren't you fancy?
Yes.
All right.
And I hope that you are putting your opinion on what you saw in the thumbnail and in the title in the comments right now, and we will continue to talk about that in a few minutes.
All right. First one, Dawn, rabbit hole question. Those are my favorite.
Yes, right?
How can the resonant peak of a pickup be measured without an oscilloscope? And is it as important a reference point as the other measurable qualities, inductance, capacitance, and resistance?
So the inductance, capacitance, and the resistance culminate in the resonant peak. So if you have ways to measure those, you track them, and you get sounds that you like, then it's not super important, in my opinion, to measure the resonant peak. If you like how it sounds, you like how it sounds. If you want more mids to happen, then learn about those other three things. If you want less highs, if you want more highs, you can do that, and you're still allowed to call it TCI even if you don't use an oscilloscope, because you are tuning the capacitance and the inductance of that pickup when you do that. So Paul Reed Smith is not the only one that's allowed to TCI as pickups. What I would say is using an oscilloscope to get a bass line at least once is really cool, because then once you start to learn what happens. I don't use an oscilloscope every time, but when I'm designing. But I did until I was like, you just learn it after a while, and then you start to do stuff. And if they sound good, they sound good. And my stuff sounds good. I've played your stuff. It sounds good. So there you go. I taught him. Then he started doing his own stuff. And now it's good.
Wow.
It's good. I mean, he's doing it. They're awesome.
The way you worded that didn't really sound like a humble beginning.
Well, it was just fun because he came to one of the two of those pickup classes. And now he's wound his own stuff a couple of times, and now he's like, I have to do it myself. Which I dig. I think that's really cool.
Are you ready now?
Let's do it.
You keep lingering.
Sorry.
Robert, I installed my Flat 6 pickups in my AM Pro 2 Telly and really love the sound so much. Thank you for bringing life out of my dull VMod 2S.
Nice. VMod 2s. Yeah, those are kind of... I get what you're saying.
Glad
Good.
you liked them.
Yeah, I'm glad you dug the Flat 6 Telly pickups. They're really good.
Yep.
They are really good.
Okay.
Oh, we got another super chat.
Do from Doc Silton. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, sir.
Merry Christmas to you and all the best in the new year. By the way, I got my wine ready for the tasting. Thanks to both of you for all your help and support.
Awesome. And we'll tell you, thank you for the super chat, by the way. And we'll tell you more about the wine tasting thing after 9 o'clock because it's not really guitar related at all. But we'll tell you about it.
Wine and guitar sounds fun.
Wine and guitars. Yeah.
Sultan.
Wined and wine. Ooh.
That's your after hours. All right, Zoltan. How big of an issue is it if the slugs and screws of a humbucker or the pole pieces of a single coil are somewhat off to one side, sitting between the strings rather than right underneath? Is the magnetic field perceptibly weaker between the pole pieces than right above them?
You want them to be as close as possible. If you put a 52 millimeter pickup in a Strat, that's probably no big deal. But you don't want them to be super misaligned. It'll still work. It'll probably be better if they're lined up closer to perfect. But there are a lot of different string spacings, and sometimes it doesn't always happen perfectly. If it becomes a problem, then definitely change it. Like if you have a guitar where the high E is dead or the low E is dead. Like Strats aren't ever right because of this pickup right here being the wrong size. So, Strats are never right. They should put a 50 millimeter here, but they don't. These are all the same. So, so that means that this high E is kind of hanging off all the time. So, there you
go. All right. Super chat from Van Shank Guitars. Thank you for the super chat, Ivan. He says, should I send you some of my pickups to get your stamp of approval?
Dude, I totally would do that. I would totally play anybody's pickup. If they learned, let me just say this. If you have learned stuff from this channel and you're like, you know what, I started whining my own pickups, send me your pickups. I will put them in the Somnium and I will play them and we will put them in a video and talk about them unless they really suck. And then I'll call you and be like, hey, you should do this first. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I think it's so cool. I think yes.
Also,
that's so cool.
Let's bring him back to his humbleness. And he doesn't have to give you a stamp of approval, Ivan.
No, that's totally true too. No, I was skipping straight to I want to play his pickups. Oh dude, that's so cool. I totally want to though. I actually thought about that. But I don't play bass. He makes some bass stuff.
Super chat from Paul McNary. Thank you for the super chat, Paul. He said, Merry Holidays, Leslie and Dylan.
Thank you for the super chat, sir.
That's very kind.
Yes. Thank you so much. Jeez, there's another one.
Super chat from Texas Toast Guitars. I feel like I just listened to them.
You did.
I love whining guitars.
We're going to talk about
whining guitars. Whining guitars.
I got a sneak peek of something that Matt and I are working on, so we'll talk about that later.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hi, Joy. I see that just because she's right up under the cone I had to grab. All right, Charles. Just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for being here, Charles. I don't know that I've seen your name yet. Maybe you're not here yet. Maybe you are. Maybe I just haven't seen you.
There might be some work in...
It's that kind of
Because doesn't he work in like a county garage or something? If it's snowing or if there's weather going on...
Maybe.
He might have some extra work to do. Yeah.
Rob. Hello, Leslie and Dylan. I play 8 to 38 gauge strings. The smallest width nut file I have found is .010. I can find files that are .002 wider than each string for all but the low E. The closest file to a 38 is a 42, which is .004 wider than the string. Can you please explain how I should choose the correct nut files to purchase? Thank you.
I like to go just as close to the string gauge as possible, only a little bigger, but you don't want to go too big before it plinks back and forth. Matt is in the comments. If he has suggestions about this, Matt, would you do me a favor and just throw something in the chat where you might think that he could get some files of that fine gauge? Because I've actually never set up a guitar from scratch with a brand new nut with 8s before. I know a guy, and everybody laughs at him for using this, and I tried it because I called him and asked him, but I know a guy who makes guitars in Arizona, and he's really good, and he makes really neat stuff. And I was having a problem one time because I couldn't find the exact right size, and he said he uses nothing but baby 3-angle files. Nothing but that. Because with an 8-gauge string or a 9-gauge string or a 7-gauge, like something really small, you could just use the very tip of a 3-angle file, and it'll be small enough, and it'll make that little, and it'll sit in the bottom. There are going to be people who say that's terrible, but he's not the only one that I know that uses a 3-angle file to make nuts. So that could be a thing if you can't find the right size. But we'll let Matt chime in on that as well if he's still around.
Cool. Josh, difference between Center Punch and Center Punch 8. Which would fit better in a single bridge pickup guitar with a coil split for 50s, 60s, and 90s pop rock alt? 24/75 scale length volume pot only.
Ooh, that's like a Mac kind of guitar. Only one knob, only one pickup. I would go Center Punch with the Alnico 5, just the regular Center Punch. The 8's a little edgier, but I actually like the regular Center Punch better. For anybody who's making the choice, if you like the real edgy kind of think Dimebag kind of sound out of a passive pickup, the 8 is for you. For everybody else, definitely 5.
Super chat from Thomas Torville. Thank you for the super chat, Thomas. He says, "Happy holiday."
Thank you.
It's like something's happening soon.
I know. It's like there's a day that everybody...
All right. Woo, the Guitar Curator.
He's new to Patreon the last month, I think.
Hey, Dylan.
Yeah.
I know you've owned both the Positive Grid Spark 40 and the Spark Mini. I'm looking for something small that I would mostly play through headphones, but would like something that sounds decent through the speakers for occasional use in my office. Which one sounds better through the speakers? I've seen a lot of YouTube videos about both amps, but none really show them being played through the speakers. I'm thinking more about the sound quality rather than which one is louder. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to do this video. You tipped me over. It's been on my list to do it, where we literally put a mic in the middle of the room and try to record what that amp sounds like. I personally like the Mini better than the 40. Especially if it doesn't have to be loud. If you're sitting in your office, you're playing guitar, I like the little one better. You have it closer to you just by design. To me, it's just better. And you can use the functionality on the phone. I don't know. I think it's really cool. I like the little one.
Mm-hmm. And which one does he play? The little one.
Yeah, I was just using it. In fact, the big one's right here. I have not used it since I got the little one.
I believe that.
The only reason I still have it is because I haven't done that video yet.
Nick, no real question. Just wanted to say thank you both for your efforts. The content is great, especially the off-topic stuff. Your advice this year has led to the purchase of a mini strap for my son, a Nux, what is that? NUX? I don't know.
The NUX little headphone amp.
NUX headphone amp for Christmas from my wife and prevented me from stressing about selling an old Mesa amp unnecessarily. I got a notification my pick guard shipped today. Thanks again. Did you remember the extra center punch cover? Merry Christmas, guys. Hope you have a great time with your family and hope the channel hits that 100K soon and that 2023 is even more prosperous. I'm going to say for you both.
Lucky for you, I just printed the label and it's actually going out first thing in the morning. And I forgot the pickup cover.
Good thing you asked a question, Nick.
Good thing you asked the question because I forgot all about it, even though I read the note today.
Whoops.
And so when I print the label, if there's any little funny things like that, I write them on the back of the label until it goes on the box because it's usually 4 working hours or so in between those times. And so you caught it at the right time and you will be cool.
He probably already is cool, but now he's going to get all the
He's
stuff
from
he wants.
the UK. He was one of the people that was going to fly from the UK to come to Texas Toast. And I hope he still can.
Cool. Ian, if Fender released a branded scotch, knife, watch, and motorbike, which one would you want most for Christmas?
I would say the Scotch because it's the least amount. It's the least potential to be cheesy. Well,
Okay.
some of this merchy stuff, like the $500 sweater from Gibson, you're like, serious? I mean, we saw him in person at Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
Would you buy any of that stuff?
No.
No, absolutely not. Would you buy me one of those Fender rings for $800?
If you were super into that stuff, I would, but you're
Okay.
not.
No.
I mean, I bought you a carbon fiber and titanium ring before, so if material, like that would make sense.
Yeah, because I'm a race car-y, bicycle-y guy, and that's why you got me that ring.
But do you, we throw away guitar strings all the time. If we wanted to make jewelry out of them, we could.
No, that's totally true. Yeah, you think about the jewelry potential of the amount of guitar strings just this week. That would be...
Too bad I'm allergic.
That's true, yeah.
Also not interested.
So the real question is, let me ask you.
Okay.
Looking at it from the outside.
Yes.
Because I know that there's going to be people in the comments who are going to say, they're going to see the thumbnail, right? And they're going to say, and it says, should guitar brands be lifestyle companies? And there's going to be people in the comments, either right now or tomorrow or the next day, who say, no, they should concentrate on making guitars and quality control, and they shouldn't do any of that stuff at all.
Mm-hmm.
And they, that's outside of their business. What say you from the outside looking at the industry?
Does it have to be music, or are you just talking about in general?
Should a business such as Gibson, Fender,
yes,
they should be a lifestyle brand?
Yes.
And have lifestyle products outside of their own genre?
Yes.
And why?
Because those are extreme examples, right? And they are well known, but for brand recognition, I think it's good. For people who are true fans, there are people who want all the stuff, right? They're going to have all the gear and do all the things and be 100% in. It's free marketing, essentially. It's easy to produce and carry, and they already have logos, right? They already have all of the branding done. So to slap it on something is easy, profitable for them, and then it's free advertisement walking around all the time.
And I 100% agree. And I think that part of it should be that they're bringing in folks outside of the actual, a skier who buys a Giro Fender branded Giro goggles. Well, a guitar player is probably going to buy the thing with the brand on it. But there might be a lot of cross. There's a lot of cross things, right? Oh, I see you are wearing a Slash t-shirt that you bought at the Gibson garage, and you don't even play guitar.
That is correct. But I like Slash.
I bought a Cletus McFarland t-shirt, and even though I don't have a race car.
And you're wearing a McPherson hat.
But I do have a McPherson.
So, I mean, a Fender person can have a Fender. That
It's
wasn't
true.
your question.
Right, yeah. No, I think it's cool. What are the folks?
I have a lot of
You have a lot of
work branded things.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mhm.
I like...
No, I think making a lifestyle brand out of the brand is a very important thing to do. We don't spend enough time on it at Dylan Talks Tonal. I really want to spend more time on it. And I think that's really important.
Mm-hmm. No,
Yep.
so people have been responding since you probably put the thing up.
Mm-hmm.
Staley Explorer says the short answer is no. It's so wasteful, in my humble opinion.
Okay.
Josh M says and I know these come in whatever order they please. So,
Yeah.
Josh M, since the companies won't be making or probably even designing them in-house, it's a negligible effort to have another revenue stream. Bands, YouTubers, and vehicle makers do it all the time.
Amen.
Correct. Gary Simmons. I think companies look at brands like Harley Davidson, but make big money off of all the lifestyle stuff. Yes, they do.
That is no joke. Harley Davidson.
Where's the place we just went? Where's the huge one?
What huge one?
Daytona?
Is
Is that the two-story one?
Daytona Harley Davidson. Yeah.
So they have
Mhm.
a two-story building and then a whole nother separate set of buildings. Like, I think they just had a shoe store and they just had a clothes store
Mhm.
and there was 2 floors of stuff in the store.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
They're making lots of money.
I could have told you that I hate Harley Davidson with all my being until this year when I went to the museum. And I toured the museum and I understood.
Not in Daytona.
No, the one in Milwaukee. And I understood then why Harley Davidson is amazing. And I also understood what I am doing wrong. Like what it is about building the community. Well, we've always been doing that. But that's where I want to spend my time. It's about building the community and the lifestyle surrounding the brand. And that's what they should. Gibson would never have gone bankrupt if they did what Harley Davidson did in 1903.
Grasshopper says, I absolutely think I can't talk. I absolutely think guitar companies should be lifestyle brands. Guitar is my life. I would eat Gibson cereal and use my trusty Fender bidet daily if I could.
Ooh, a Fender bidet.
Oh my goodness. BC Rich 581. So that whole lifestyle brand thing didn't turn out to be a viable business model with the old Gibson regime.
They probably implemented incorrectly, just like they implemented everything else incorrectly. Yeah.
Martian Murray, I think it's redundant to have like a Fender guitar and then wearing a Fender shirt, hat, socks, etc.
That's like wearing your own band shirt to your gig.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense.
Martian Murray says, $500 Gibson sweater. Oh, hell no. Fat Philosopher said, actually, I love a good quality knit sweater. A good one is at least $300.
Hey, man. Right?
I
grew up with Mr. Rogers.
BC Rich 581 said, toasted maple toilet seat and matching bidet.
I was trying to think about what the lid would look like. Like a Gibson peg head would make a pretty cool toilet seat cover, but I don't know about a Fender one because it's you know.
Fat Philosopher said, if I pay $500, can I get Leslie to knit me a sweater?
No.
I do nothing domestic like that. I do not know how to knit. I do not care to know how to knit. This feels like it was in response to something, but Josh M has a point in here. I don't think they should focus on this stuff, but 1 or 2 people working with an outside vendor to license the name or sell direct from their website is worth the small expense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Rob F. Pretty much every company has merch swag that they sell and or give away for marketing. Why should a guitar company be any different? That's true. So, like, what is the difference? Nobody would complain if they were getting free things. So, like, why wouldn't you pay for it? Anyway, another topic for another time.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Need says you get your customers to pay for your marketing. Rob F says $800 ring or $800 guitar. I'll take the guitar any day. Totally fair.
Agreed. I would too.
George O. Well. I love that. Dylan Brandt alpaca socks.
I've not thought about socks.
What's that alpaca? Do they make alpaca socks?
That'd be itchy. I had an alpaca sweater that was made by hand in Ecuador. That my sister had made for me when she lived in Ecuador. It had like little bits of sticks and stuff in it. Like it was like homemade. Like
homemade or homemade?
I don't know if the lady that made it was a hoe, but
That's what you said though. You said
homemade. Like Gatorade?
Wow.
Anyway, it had like little sticks in it and it was really itchy.
Really?
I barely ever wore it. And the neck hole was not Dylan's size neck hole. So I couldn't get my head through it.
You have an abnormally large neck, though.
I do.
Super chat from Vinny's World. Thank you for the super chat, Vinny.
I just shipped you a real buttload of stuff yesterday.
You interrupted me.
Go ahead.
Dylan, Leslie, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thank you for taking the time to do this every week.
Thank you for coming and watching and being here, because that's why we do it. And it is really fun. And thank you for the super chat, my friend.
Thank you.
That super chat came a long way.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was just like it came as fast as everybody else's.
Thank you.
It's pretty impressive.
He's in Hong Kong, for those of you that don't.
Rob F said, I wouldn't purchase anyone's sweater for $500.
I would purchase Mr. Rogers' sweater for $500.
That's creepy. Hard says, I already have my answer. No. LOL.
That's funny.
Doc Stiltonen says, having diverse income streams is better for any business, period.
Mm-hmm.
What's your side hustle, Doc? Knocking teeth out? Oh, sorry. Doc Stiltonen says, wine
No,
and
he gives
wines.
kids candy. Remember he told us that. He gives kids candy.
Wine and wines sounds like the perfect name for a weekend class.
Wine and wines.
Josh M., if it helps keep a guitar company viable and able to continue making guitars, why not? I won't buy them, but as long as they sell, totally fair.
Yep.
That's also an interesting thing. Like, why, if you are not the audience or you will not purchase, why
are you the one complaining about it or making a big deal out of it? Yeah.
Why does it matter?
You know, we sell T-shirts on the website, and we sell. I'm working on some other stuff, some stickers and some decals and whatever. And what I like about them is we don't have to make them. I can have them made, and we can include them in orders, and we can sell them, and we can do all that kind of stuff. And besides the brand thing, what I don't think people realize is, the pickup companies is economically different from the YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel runs in the red 100% of the time. We don't make money with YouTube because we're not Mr. Beast or like, one of those people. I don't have like YouTube Ferrari money. You know what I mean? And so
it would be nice though.
It would be nice. So the idea is that all the little things, the t-shirts and the affiliate links and all that kind of stuff pays for the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of, and the thousands of dollars in equipment to do the YouTube channel. Because that's what it does. And so I can also see where larger companies would take that revenue and use it for certain things. They would use it for, even community efforts, whatever. doesn't matter. But yeah, it's kind of neat. Kind of neat.
I think we covered most of the
If
thoughts.
anybody has any guitar questions.
Yeah, I have those too.
Oh, okay, good.
So I was just backtracking a little bit to make sure or try to see if I missed anything. And
I just really like that. This is way more positive than I anticipated it being, and that
Really?
it makes me super happy.
Well, good.
Because when we came out with the video about the $500, anytime I put, because I always do in the gear news, we always put in like, you know, the ring or the whatever it might be, some random swag thing that, you know, whatever. And people are always really negative in the comments, like, that's dumb, it's too expensive, they should concentrate on making, you know. So I just was really, I'm impressed and really stoked that everybody's so positive.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with making a responsible decision. Is a $500 sweater dumb? Yes.
Probably, yeah.
It is not. I promise you it wasn't worth $500.
No. It looked old.
I can't click anything. Okay, try that again. Thank you for the super chat, Timothy Potter. He said, you just cracked me the blankety up with the alpaca sweater story. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Timothy Potter. Also, I got your message about doing a Stevie Ray Vaughan strat, and I have not had time to look. I'm going to look. So I asked in a video the other day, since we did the Keith Richards thing, would anybody want to see anything else? And of course, Stevie Ray comes up like as one of the top ones. So I'm going to see if I can find an appropriate, you know, classic vibe strat or something that's reasonable money-wise that we could do the neat pickups and do all the stuff. And
don't check that text message. It's a note to myself.
Oh. No, it wasn't Timothy Potter. It was somebody else. Because Timothy Potter is this guitar right here.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right. Oh, I grabbed that, so I'll read that in a minute. Oh, interesting. All right.
Questions.
Yep.
She's on to questions now, y'all.
Oh, maybe there's a couple more thoughts. Crossover. Rusty said, if a lifestyle brand is beneficial to the company and gets people interested in learning guitar, sure. I like that.
I like that too. Yeah.
Grasshopper. I'm such a fanboy. I sit here and stare at my Gibson headstocks all day long. One of these days, I'm going to pick them up and glue them back on.
Dude, that is amazing.
Vinny's World says, I got a few of your t-shirts, but is there a chance that we can get a 2 Metal Kitty hoodie?
Mm-hmm.
You're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying that there is a very good chance.
That Philosopher said 2 Metal Kitty t-shirt, best merch ever.
That actually, the So Metal t-shirt came from a buddy of mine who plays in a metal band in Texas called, what was it called? Sons of Texas. Google them. Sons of Texas. They were all over rock radio for probably 10 years. They're really good. They broke up, but they're really good.
They broke up.
So Metal.
Paul Needs says, Gear News is my least favorite of your streams. Sorry. Interested more in what you do, to be frank, and that's not butt kissing. Your pickup knowledge is phenomenal.
I appreciate that, Paul. Thank you very much for that. I will not stop doing the Gear News. There's a legitimate reason. The reason I do the Gear News is because it gives us a look and a modern relevancy every week to. It is literally a content strategy. If we talk about capacitors and pots and pickups, that's 1940s technology. All the other YouTube channels and stuff, this is really inside baseball, but all the other YouTube channels and stuff have a new camera coming out every week or a new car or a new whatever to stay relevant in 2022. And so it does two things for me. It helps me do that with the channel, because talking about capacitors isn't going to do that with the channel itself for searchability and stuff. And number two, it keeps me wanting new stuff and learning about new stuff and expanding my horizons. Because I've bought guitars and bought and reviewed products and learned things and came out with new pickups because of things that I learned about when preparing for the gear news. So it keeps my mind fresh too. It keeps the channel fresh and it keeps my mind fresh for, for other content. So thank you for that, but just kind of giving you some inside baseball on why we do it. And I won't stop because it's really, really fun for me.
Super chat from Thomas Torville. Thank you for the super chat. He said, "Did you get my message on Flying V?"
I did get your message on the Flying V. I am trying to figure out which Flying V. Here's the problem. There isn't an Epiphone Flying V that would make a good mountain Flying V. You would have to use a Gibson, and it's $2,000. So I'm trying to figure out how I can do that the best, because I want it to be right. I want to make a replica of the mountain Flying V, but it has to be the right guitar. To do it. So we'll see. I'm still looking into it, is the answer.
But yes, he got the message.
I did.
That's super chat from Sassy Cat. Thank you for the super chat. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Dylan and Leslie.
Thank you.
That's so nice.
Thank you, Sassy Cat. He's been around a long time, Sassy Cat has. Or her. I mean, it might be.
I don't know. I like the cat with goggles, though.
I do, too.
Anyway.
Yeah. They are laughing about something upstairs.
I think they're outside.
Oh.
Rocket Motion said, "Dylan, I love gear news. It's how I found you guys."
Thank you.
That's
the other reason why we... See, that's what I'm saying. Because people are Googling new stuff and they find us.
Angel Raven 444 says, "Dylan makes money from pickups. Leslie must get the super chats, I reckon." No. She doesn't.
You kind of do.
She doesn't. And then I feel like somebody responded. Maybe not. Anyway. No, this is Dylan's deal. Yep. Ed Dana, "I love the gear news. You know what's going on, and it's good to stay abreast of developments." I said breast. Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. That's funny. I love it.
Robert Hastings says, "Hello from Texas. I hope you're all well. Why should they not? Even Delbert McClinton sells t-shirts. I did buy one of those, but I'll pass on these."
That's funny.
Lee Asbury, "I dig the gear news. I dig everything you release, honestly."
Thanks, man.
All right. You want more questions?
Let's go. Let's keep going.
Paul Needs, "So, strap pickups are the same size, so there's different bobbins for different positions?"
There is not. That's the problem. There are some companies that do make shorter bobbins for the neck position, but most people don't. It's something that I've thought about actually doing, but it's in my brain to execute, but it has not gotten to the execution part. The problem is that you make the bobbin shorter, it sounds different too. So I don't want that.
They are loud. Fat Philosopher said, "I think my first video from Dylan was one explaining about how pots work. That is not surprising."
That is not surprising. Episode number 10.
Pots are the most popular all these years.
All these years, pots are yeah. Episode number 10 was our number one it was in the top 5 most viewed videos every month for the first 6 or 7 years of us doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Episode number 10. Yeah. And now we have over 1,000. But that one still hung in there. Till very recently.
So let's just get through. Fat Philosopher had a couple other thoughts here that I collected. I don't know what one of these means. He said I'd order a V build from Dylan, but being a lefty won't help him with videos.
Yeah, that is a tough thing because I can't play backwards.
Oh, like through you order one.
Yeah, he
Okay.
would want me to build him a V, but I wouldn't be able to do it unless we built it like Hendrix style, upside down, but with a V. That's dumb because of it wouldn't work.
And then a Fat Philosopher also asked, is a telly really a telly if it doesn't have brass saddles?
Yes.
Southern Boy says, anybody make a Jazzmaster pickguard guitar? Would be the perfect travel guitar. With a wraparound bridge, the guitar would be perfectly contained to the pickguard.
They do a Strat one, but I've never seen a Jazzmaster one. You know those ones that look like just the pickguard?
I don't know. All right, so I'm currently caught up to relevant guitar questions.
Cool.
I'm just scrolling because I was on a different screen. Wait, what does that say? Never mind sold listing. I don't know what Josh M is talking about. Oh, he's talking about a reverb. Only $150K for one he saw. And then he said, never mind, it's sold. Darn.
Yeah.
Paul Need says, I found this through Texas Toast, which I found through searching guitar making.
Thanks,
it's
man.
Interesting to find out how people found, because our audiences do cross.
Yeah.
But, who found who and...
Collaboration is super important. That's actually what I talked about on my little personal vlog channel this morning.
You have a personal blog channel?
I do. It is that collaboration is super important. And it's not because to get my name out there, more so than it is to make me think about stuff that I don't normally think about when I'm by myself. Because you get into an echo chamber of your own self, of like what you're, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've made pickups, I've done things, we've built guitars, we've done various things that I would have never done if somebody else didn't say, hey, you know what, you should do. Actually, I wouldn't be making pickups at all if somebody didn't call me and say, hey, you should do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody that I was collaborating with on something completely different, not even in this business. So getting ideas from outside is super important. I really like doing that. Collaborating is good. Matt is really good for me for that. So
while I said I was caught up, while we were talking, we missed 17 things. So now I have plenty.
Good.
Rocket Morton. I might have said that wrong earlier. Oh, nope. They're asking somebody else a question. Just kidding. Doc Siltonen, 2.444 or 2.5 inch magnets for P90.
4.4.
That was easy. The Guitar Curator. I think the video about pots was my first as well.
Isn't that funny?
How have we never asked this question? Angel Raven 444. How many guitars did you sell to fund your 9/11?
I sold 2, then a person canceled. So I've only actually sold 1. I took 2 of them off of there today because I was playing them and decided I couldn't sell them. So we only have 2 left to sell because I took my PRS Silver Sky off because I can't let that thing go. I love that guitar. And I took my Gibson SG Junior off because I love that guitar. Love that guitar. I can't let it go.
I 50 millimeter. I used a 250K volume pot and a 500K tone pot because of those Dylan pot videos.
And it's awesome, right? It's just fun to experiment.
Gonna start rumors. Dylan pot videos.
Yeah.
Vinny's World said, I found you through the Guitar Player article. Printed media seems so antiquated now.
Guitar Player article?
I don't know what that is either.
Which one?
You have to.
Vinny's World?
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me, Vinny's World, which one that is.
I mean, it had to be a long time ago. Vinny's been around a while, right?
Yeah, so it wasn't the one where I blew the lid off of the Fender thing this summer, because I've known him for longer than that. So it's got to be something else. And if it's in Guitar Player and I don't know about it, then that means I don't know about it. So now I want to know about it. Because I've been in Premier Guitar twice and Guitar Player once, but that was just this year. Our DAFs were in the top 10 best PAF clone guitar, article. That was in 2016, I think. So,
He just said, was a Guitar Player or another one? Yeah, the one about the DAF, he said.
Oh, okay. So that was 2016, yeah.
And which magazine was that?
That was Premier Guitar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are they still an actual magazine? They're
Yeah.
not, right? Oh,
Yeah.
they are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Edward Kowalski? Any thoughts on Zex Coil pickups?
They're cool. We were just talking about those last week.
Mm-hmm.
They're neat. I've played them a couple of times. They have their own thing. They're kind of in the lace sensor camp. They don't do everything I personally want them to do, so they're not my first choice. However, like lace sensors, Zex coils are very unique, and they have a thing. And if you like that thing, you're going to really like them. And they're quiet, and they're really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a neat technology and how they're made and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Robert Hastings, I found you from the tech videos. They are very helpful. I finally found someone, you, who actually made sense to me.
Thank you.
Eric Johnson, what Tele neck pickup do I need to get that lap steel type sound?
Tele neck pickup? So lap steel is the bridge pickup, actually. So yeah, I don't know what neck pickup you would use, because your bridge pickup is where that lap steel sound comes from.
Okay, hang on. These are like dumping in way the wrong order. Rob F says, my first video was the Squier Super Strat. I now have that exact surf green guitar, though with black Bonnevilles from Dylan, in lieu of the white
Surf
pickups
green.
it came with.
That's the one that Morgan from the Nissan dealer bought from me. That Affinity, the thin one. Yeah, cool. That was a long time ago. Wow, that's really cool, man. That was like before the motorhome. That was before times.
Rocket Morton says, why shorter bobbins? I'm assuming this is going back to the Strat conversation.
So when you look at a Stratocaster pickguard, the strings, if you ever look at a Strat, the strings the magnet hangs off the end of the strings on the high E string down here, because as the width of your bridge is wider than the width of your nut. So your strings kind of go in towards each other as they go down towards the nut. And it does that from here to here, and it makes it narrower. So typically that is why you would put a narrower pickup in the neck position, or why you could. And on a Strat, it's really kind of exaggerated.
Ed Dana says, yes, Dylan and Leslie aren't like the, quote, cookie cutter guitar channels. I'm down to about 3 or 4 channels I can watch, and you guys are at the top. So many sellouts.
Sellouts.
I don't know about the, like, sellout part, but I definitely...
Because I'm going to take the money if somebody gives it to me.
I get really aggravated, too, with people's trajectory sometimes, so I get that.
What do you mean trajectory?
How they change based on years.
What do you mean, though?
Fed. I mean, I don't want to call out examples, but there are...
Okay, but like trends, I mean, I know I can think of one. But why? So we don't do it. I know this might be like a...
Well, we're not fake, so we can't do it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
I mean,
like we wouldn't change, like this wouldn't change depending on how the channel does or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we could be super produced and be doing whatever, but I could never. I don't know how to be fake.
Yeah.
That's the part that bugs me, and I think that's the part when you can see somebody's personality shift. I think, like, to me, that's when the sellout mentality comes from.
Yeah.
Because they're like molding into something else.
Well, see, and the thing with me is my personality on YouTube is changing, but it's because I'm trying to allow myself to be more goofy. Like, I am a goofy idiot 99% of the time when I'm not on YouTube. And the only reason I have appeared smart on YouTube is because I think that's what people wanted me to do, was appear smart. And I'm kind of done.
But you are smart.
I know,
you
but
are just trying to interject true personality into it, which
yes,
is what
that's
this
what I'm saying.
is.
Yes.
Because it's easy for people to assume recorded, pre-recorded, edited videos. Who are you really?
Right. Yeah.
And live, and with your wife.
They're not really like that in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are. We're really boring.
We're pretty much like this in real life. Yeah.
Pretty much.
As far as the sellout part goes, I'm going to take income opportunities where they come up and where they are appropriate, and where actually not even where they are appropriate, where I think they're cool. I'm gonna. Because like I said, this thing runs into red 100% of the time, so we have to do whatever, you know. Does that mean I'm going to sell out and like start saying stuff that I don't believe? If you've been here for more than a couple of weeks, you should know that that's never going to be a problem. Because I do get that. Look at this amazing thing. And you're like, 6 months later, 6 months ago, you wouldn't have said that. I'm still going to say whatever, you know.
Let me grab some more questions. You always get quiet at the wrong time. How is Sean McMillan in the comments? I thought he was driving.
Maybe somebody else is driving. Oh, that's a cool part. So he's somebody that he's on our Patreon hangout thing that we do once a month, which is Monday. So we're going to do a live hangout on Zoom, video and audio. If you have any questions or problems with a guitar, whatever, or you just want to come and hang out because it just kind of turns into that. We do that the fourth Monday of every month. There is a level on Patreon that includes that, and I think you'll dig it. So make sure you do that. Sean is one of those people, but he's actually going to be in town tonight, and so we're going to meet up for breakfast with him tomorrow. It's going to be kind of cool.
Hopefully.
It's going to be freezing ass cold. It's not even going to be cool.
But if he's from
Ohio,
more northern up here, he's going to be like, cool, I'm avoiding the worst weather.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ed Dana says, back in about 2016, Dylan came on one of our guitar community live streams with Gelvin Guitars and DKG Custom. We were all so drunk, we never saw Dylan again. I've followed ever since. Merry Christmas.
I remember doing that.
We were all so drunk.
I remembered. I wasn't, but I do remember doing that. That was really fun. And actually, I see Ed Dana's name every once in a while. And actually, you know what's funny, Ed, is that was in the time period, too, where it was like the Boutique Guitar Builder group on Facebook. Yeah. And Wayne Harmon had it for a while, and then he got kicked out, and then I got kicked out. Chris from Colorado, not Chris Fesker, but somebody else, Chris, got Highline Guitars, got kicked out, and he's the one that even started the group, and it was this whole stupid thing. And I ended up actually remaining friends with all of the important people from that group, and I think you were in that. I'm still friends with Chris from Highline. Actually, Wayne Harmon did this tattoo for me in Las Vegas. I became friends with him, still friends with him to this day, out of a Facebook group that we all got kicked out of because people didn't want to hear the truth, like when you're talking about you can't handle the truth about how guitars are supposed to be built.
I'm going to read this comment now because it came through. I'm going to tell you how it came through first, and then I was like, what? Your Bonneville, so Lee Asbury, your Bonneville pickups in that seafood strat were in Rhett Shull's video. And I'm like, what the heck is a seafood strat?
What?
And he meant seafoam strat. You've been in Rhett Shull's video?
I've been in a Rhett Shull video? Please tell me more about that. I didn't know that. That's cool.
All right.
It had to be recently because the Bonnevilles only came out in August or something.
Eric Johnson. Thanks, Dylan. I didn't know that. Is it a vintage output bridge pickup I need for the lap steel sound then?
Yes. If you get one of our flat six tele pickups, it'll be perfect. It'll get you there. Yep.
Rocket Morton. So F spaced bridge pickup and Gibson spaced neck pickup.
Yeah, but don't put too much thought into that. So like when we do, so here you go. This is a single hum pickguard that I'm building tomorrow. So if we do, the normal strat size here, and a 52 millimeter here, or even a 50 millimeter, you're gonna be fine. Don't stress about it too much. It's not as big a deal as everybody. I mean, get it as close as you can, but if you call me and say, do you make a well, I won't answer the phone. If you email me and say, do you make an F space pickup? I'll say no, but we make a 52. Just buy it. It'll be fine.
Sean said he got to the destination.
Oh,
right.
Excellent.
We have 4 minutes, so you're going to have to stop talking so much.
And I'm going to have to pee.
No.
Okay.
Ship Crooks. Hi, you two. Dylan, what can you tell me about Joe Barden pickups used by Roy Buchanan?
Joe Barden pickups are humbuckers, basically. Blades that they put in tellies, and people really like them. And I'm not really a fan, but they're really cool. And then he died, and then his wife kept making them, I think, or owned the company anyway. A lot of people really like them.
Crazy Lazy Dave says the Bonneville, maybe they're not talking about pickups. I don't know. Bonneville was in the most recent Dipped in Tone podcast during when they dipped a rig.
I don't know what that is.
Dip Your Rig with Chris Shiflett.
Oh, Chris Shiflett's from Foo Fighters. But I don't know.
Jose Benito Martinez Jr. Did you guys ever stop by Yosemite National Park in your travels?
No. We didn't make that one. I think because while we were out there, it was one of those deals where it was still COVID-y, and they had like limited entry stuff.
Rob F says, Dipped in Tone, Rhett and Zach from Mythos.
Yep.
Plus Chris Shiflett reviewed my rig this week on their podcast. Zach mentioned the pickups, but sadly didn't recognize you.
Oh.
So it's like a rig roast or something?
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Very cool.
Awesome. All right.
I should get Zach from Mythos on. I know a guy who knows a guy. I could hook up with him. And I know Rhett, so no, that's neat.
Rusty says your channel is authentic and sincere with some humility and humor. Good job.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Rocket Morton, I would like to see you get a Squier Mini Jazzmaster and a set of pickups for a 22.5 scale. T-Bone, Merry Christmas, you two. Dylan, are you a Stratocaster guy or a Les Paul guy?
I'm a Stratocaster guy ever since I was 13 years old, but I just told Leslie today, I was like this on the order button for a Les Paul, and I just didn't do it. But I really want one. The reason I wanted it... We have too many comments.
We have 1 minute left.
Okay.
Sean McMillan says, if guitars have tone wood, what does that make the charred oak barrels used to age bourbon? Flavor wood?
Exactly.
Eisen said, I love the gear news. The only problem is I keep digging in my wallet.
I'm glad. Just use my links to do it. Speaking of selling
Ed Dana says, I'm a Strat guy all the way, but I'm lusting after a double cutaway Les Paul Jr. in TV yellow with P90s. I have an Epiphone special for $129, and I love it. Greg Lanham, Dylan, is your McFarlane shirt from Mark or Cletus? Who's Mark?
I don't know who Mark is. Cletus is the only McFarlane that matters. Look at my single cut. That one of you, Don, built for me. I think it's amazing. Favorite guitar ever.
Rusty, what do you think of rubber bridge guitars?
Never heard of that.
Martian Murray says, I found y'all through Casino Guitars or vice versa.
Oh, yeah, I love those guys.
Luis Santiago, what is your opinion on changing pickups on a Les Paul 60s standard from burst buckers to DiMarzio super distortion in the bridge and 36th anniversary PAF in the neck?
I would say if you're going there, you should try you could do that. That'd be fine. But of course, I'm going to try to plug my own stuff. So I would definitely say try our Dylan Talks Tone Super 8s for the combination that you're looking for right there. Neck and bridge, Super 8s.
All right. I'm not going to go anymore. It's 9:01. You want to introduce what is happening now for any of the guitar
Absolutely.
loyalists?
Yeah, so if you came here for guitar stuff, that's what we do for the first hour. And then after that, we just kind of talk about whatever we want to talk about. And if you want to ask a guitar question after 9 o'clock Eastern time, it has to be a super chat. We will not look at your guitar question unless it's a super chat. Otherwise, we're just going to go super off topic and talk about whatever. The first thing we should do is talk about what we're doing next week at 9 p.m.
Dun, 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 dun.
Wine and wine.
No, we're not winding. We're not doing pickups after 9.
No, it'll just be wine.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you see it? I don't know. So we are going to do a wine tasting next Thursday. That's easy. I don't even have to look at the date. So next week, we're going to do a wine tasting. Lead by Rick Bonneville.
Yep.
Who is here. I saw him.
Cool.
So, Rodney Strong, Cab 2019, if you want to participate as he walks us through it. I know some of you have already said you got yours. We obviously got ours. We only bought one bottle. It hasn't been opened. I haven't tried it, so it will be a surprise.
Yeah. The idea is, we were talking about it on some live stream.
And if you don't drink, you can still hang out with us.
Yeah, obviously. If you drink water or don't drink anything or coffee or whatever, or eat some Twinkies or whatever you want. Doesn't matter.
Do they still make Twinkies?
They do.
Why do you sound depressed like you want a Twinkie?
I really want something sweet, but I've been trying to stay off of the extra sugar thing.
Oh.
I was thinking about it today, that I really wanted something, but
I hid some things if you really need something.
I'm really trying to stay off of the...
I hid them on purpose because I knew if you saw them, you would just eat them.
Yeah, but I haven't been, though.
That's because we don't have anything.
I'm trying to... We do.
What do we have?
We have like the oatmeal squares things with the chocolate chips in them and stuff. We have some stuff. And we have some granola bars and some other stuff. And I've been just trying to stay off of this sugar stuff. I think it's been helping too. So, yeah. Anyway.
Cool.
So that's what we're doing next week. We got a guest. We're going to guest him in. Split screen. Whole deal.
Yeah. So like... star appearance.
Yep.
Because I was like, how are we going to do this?
No, it's easier just to have him on.
Yeah. All right. So while we're talking about Rick Bonneville,
if he's super weird, I'm sorry in advance. Hopefully he's cool.
I mean, he seems cool.
He is cool. I've talked to him on the phone.
So speaking of Rick Bonneville, he asked Leslie, because he got here late, Leslie, why are you wearing a Slash t-shirt? So this is related to our topic tonight when we were talking about brand stuff. But his next question was it a prelude to a gift that you might be getting?
She said today.
No.
This is no lie. So right before the Texas Toast stream at 7 p.m. Eastern time to us, I was telling her, I was like, we were talking about something else. I don't remember what we were talking about. But I told her, I was like, I came this close to buying a Slash Les Paul today. Like, I really, really want this Les Paul super bad. And the reason I want it is because the claws in the grain are backwards. So I really wanted this in particular one. And I didn't buy it because just, whatever. Anyway. And she immediately is like, I'm not buying it for you. Like,
that's because, okay. So,
Not that you wouldn't buy something for me.
there's a personality where they're like, I mean, he told me multiple times, I almost bought a guitar today. I almost bought a Les Paul today. I really want that guitar. I probably should get it. Like, he's just talking out loud and to me.
Yeah.
Like, laying these loud hints out. And I'm like, I'm not buying you a guitar. Like, because normally I would be affected. I'd be like, do you really need it that bad? You should just buy it. Or I'll buy it. But no. The answer was no.
No. No, and it's because she's awesome. I was like, I was really thinking about buying something last week, and she bought it for me. So, it's not that. It's just, timing.
But that was a no. That one was a no.
That one was a no.
I mean, that is the Les Paul I want you to have.
Yeah,
to be clear.
It's the one you want me to buy.
Yes. To be clear.
It was just a not today thing for sure. Yeah. I get it.
Not today.
Not today. I get it totally.
All right. Timothy Potter has asked multiple times. So I'm going to read his multiple questions. What is that really cool blade you have tonight? I want one. Dylan, what is your knife tonight? It looks cool and useful. Ooh, what's the pink blade?
I will sell you this knife because I bought this knife to flip. This is the Microtech UTX Desert Warrior Edition. Let me get our eyes out of it so you can actually see it. It's really, really cool. But it's really kind of a collector piece. It's not really a user. And I paid a lot of money for it. And I was going to flip it. I put it on eBay, and I forgot that they didn't have... you can't sell OTFs on eBay, so they took my listing down. And a lot of people are really interested in it, but... yeah, so... I don't know if I'm going to be stuck with it or not, but... It's not a cheap knife, so, and it is kind of a super limited edition collecty thing. They ran out in like no time at all. So, we get a super chat?
What?
You got somebody up here.
Oh, no. I don't know why the mouse is not working tonight. It's totally me. I'm sure it's me.
I just have mine set up different than yours.
It's like a user error. I'm so tired though. Like,
are you?
Anyway, Steve Rezer says, I've been working not too far from a haunted prison. I drive by it on my way to the job in Ohio. I guess you can stay overnight or just take a tour.
I wonder what prison that is. We've toured some neat prisons while we were traveling.
Yeah.
They were super cool.
Fat Philosopher said, what do you guys want from Santa this year?
Santa's not real.
Yeah, and it's overrated.
I don't know if your kids are around or not, and I just ruined their lives or whatever, but Santa's not
ruined
real.
Their lives.
I don't know how dramatic other people's children are. Wow. I know. I got what I wanted. See, our anniversary is really close to Christmas, and we don't really do Christmas, so it's kind of, it's just not a thing we do. So we do anniversary stuff instead.
Yeah, and we haven't even had an anniversary yet, and we've
already
bought
done our
stuff,
things.
So
yeah.
Let's not do it again.
Maybe, yeah, sure.
BC Rich 581 said, liquor and knives.
That's right.
That's what he's here for.
I get it.
What is your drink tonight?
Oh, it's this Nelson Brothers stuff from Nashville.
It's the same one, right?
Yeah, same one.
I have water. Uh-oh.
What?
It's called the Mansfield Prison. No, people are like, no, in stream. Santa's not real.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably just ruined it for their children or whatever.
Mansfield Prison right across from Hales Harley Davidson.
Mansfield, Ohio, I assume?
Yeah, he's talking about Ohio. Angel Raven 444. So let the gaslighting begin. I don't know why they always say that. Who's being gaslit?
I don't know.
Anyways, that's what they said. Anyway, when you met, did Dylan use a pickup line to get you, Leslie? Was it Your eyes look like P90s in the moonlight. Okay, the funniest part of this is look how they spelled that.
That is hilarious.
So, no, I don't think there was a pickup line because we kind of accidentally met business related. But the way you just spelled your Y-U-R, that is what he did. And I was like, why can't you just write a word out? Like, I'm kind of a grammar Nazi. And I was like, what is wrong with you?
That's
like,
really funny.
I was literally like, is this person dumb? Like, why can't he spell this word?
That is true. All those many years ago.
Um,
That's really funny.
Anyway, so that 2-hour drive. Doc Silton has said anniversaries are way better than Christmas, in my opinion.
They are pretty fun.
Eric Johnson said, if you end up getting a Boxster or 911, will you make a video about it?
Oh, for sure.
Duh.
Not on this channel.
How else are we going to write it off? I'm just kidding.
Exactly. We have another channel. So we have two other channels. I might as well just tell you about this. So we have two other channels. We have Dylan and Leslie. So it's Dylan Talks Tone /
No.
Oh, no, I apologize. It's youtube.com/Dylan and Leslie.
Yeah, the one I comment with.
Yeah, that's the one yeah. And then I have another one that was going to be a podcast, but we ended up molding the podcast into this channel. So I think I want to say it's Dylan Talks, it's youtube.com/ just going to say it. I'm pretty sure, but that's about to change. I've been, personal development is really important to me and like what makes me go every day. Like when I get up in the morning, I am like, well, I told this story in the first installment of this little thing that I did. I did my fourth one today.
Was it an installment and not an episode?
Well, because I do them every day, and it's like 5 minutes, whatever, just whatever's on my mind. I
don't know anything about this.
Yeah, she doesn't know anything about this. So,
I mean, I knew you were doing it. I haven't listened to anything.
Yeah, I don't either. I just do it. I don't edit them or nothing. It literally is just a click record, say what is on my mind right now, and click off. No censorship, no editing, no nothing. And it's usually 5 or so minutes.
And it's on the internet?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so in the first installment of this thing, I was explaining that when I lived in New York, when I was in my early 20s, I used to watch Pinky and the Brain every day. Because I used to repair TVs. And so we would have Pinky and the Brain in the background, like on the WB or whatever in the afternoon. It would come on at like 2 o'clock. And they would say, what are we going to do today? And he'd say, the same thing we do every day, Pinky. We're going to try to take over the world.
Did they say try? Or they just said they were?
Whatever they said. I don't remember. But that's what the premise of this is. This is the thing that I'm going to do today to try to take over the world. Like, move my business forward, move my own mental health forward, move my whatever I'm doing. And I'm just going to talk about it. Like, because I have a thing in my head every day. When I get up in the morning, this is what I'm going to get done. And she knows because I will get up in the morning and be like, I have all these things to do. And usually I'm so hardcore about them that they're done way early. I'm always, so anyway, I have a mental thing that I do every day to make myself go. And a lot of it's to do because I have chronic pain and, etc. So I have to like really get myself going. Especially when it's cold outside, like the last couple days. So anyway, that's what that YouTube channel is. That's all it is. It's not monetized. I'm not looking for 1 million subscribers on it or anything. It's not any of that. It has nothing to do with the business. It's just an outlet for my brain sometimes. Anyway, I wasn't even going to say anything about it, but
Vinny's World says the daily updates on your old podcast channel have been really inspirational.
Thanks, Vinny.
We knew somebody was finding it. He told me like the subscribers changed, and
I was like, we got like 40 new subscribers, and I haven't even told anybody. Yeah.
I thought you weren't going to tell anybody.
I don't know.
Too late now. By
It's
the way.
definitely not the intention. It's not the intention to turn it into a thing, because I'm no Gary Vee or anything, but I also feel like it gives me it's a grounding thing. Again, I get on this channel and it's like I have to be smart about stuff. And that's not really what I like to be. And so to be able to be on that other thing and just speak my mind for a second, it grounds what other content. It helps me to like not reset, but sort of like set how I'm going to approach other content that I'm going to make today.
So you're going to start going outside barefoot and stand in the grass?
I mean, if it wasn't cold outside, I would do that right now. Yeah. Grounding.
I mean, you know.
I get it. Otherwise, you're going to buzz when you touch me. Bzz.
Angel Raven 444 says, "Hey everyone in chat, I stopped doing Christmas since 1991. It's no big deal. You save money, stress, etc. Don't feed the beast. Anyways, peace to all in chat." I wanted to read that because I feel like they've shared that before and we've missed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What else we got? People are quiet tonight.
That's because they find us interesting. Not really.
Were there any good recipes from the book? Doc Silton wants to
yes.
know.
There are good recipes from the book. I have not dove completely into it yet. But I did give it a couple of scans the other day. Actually, when he first sent it to me, I looked through it pretty good. And then when I showed it to you, after you walked out of the room, I looked through it again.
But he hasn't sent it to me, so I
haven't sent it to her. Yeah, it was last night.
But he also cooked twice today, so if it inspires him to cook, I don't care if I ever see the cookbook.
That's true. I cooked twice. Yeah. Yep. No, I like cooking, but I get, you get in your groove of what you're going to do for the day, and then sometimes it's like, it's too late. Let me just throw something in that, So I do like to cook, though, for sure.
Awesome. There's a lot of people hanging out in Ohio. Jeffrey Egan is realizing he's got some new neighbors.
Excellent. Sean, who's coming to visit us tomorrow, is actually from Ohio.
Wait, is it still... Somebody says it's equinox tonight. I thought that was yesterday. Are you going to sacrifice a guitar?
I will say, and I haven't told you this, that if we were somehow...
I've actually seen that thing.
And yeah, good. Not enough of people are in the chat or right now, although you could all share it and maybe it'll happen. But if we, for some reason, some insane thing happened, and we got 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which is another week.
This is way harder than mine.
Yeah, because it's way bigger. Because it's bigger than my other, because that's a full UTX.
Like way bigger than my hand.
Yeah. She has a UTX 70, which is the little one. No, if we were for some reason able to get 100,000 subscribers by January 1st, I will give away any guitar that I own that is in the fleet, not my personal ones, an amp, a cable, and a pedal.
Wow.
If we hit 100,000 subscribers in the next week. But this is the first time I've ever said it, so I don't think it's going to happen, but I would totally do it.
That's wild.
I would totally do it because it's a goal that I want to hit, and it's really important to me because of growth. I want to grow. So, Paul needs.
I'm glad he's... Sorry, I can't talk over that. I'm glad Paul is still here. Thank you for the super chat. He said he fell and he wasn't feeling well. So I'm glad he's still here. He says, "Oh, the Peter Green pickup, just reverse wound, reverse polarity."
No, it is a regular set of humbuckers, and all that happened, and they say it's by accident from the factory. I do not believe that. All they did was they took the magnet out of the humbucker, flipped it over, and put it back in. The fact that it's physically backwards in the guitar, by the way, has nothing to do with it. The magnet physically has to be flipped the wrong way in the pickup. If you turn your pickup backwards, it doesn't do anything.
And thank you for the super chat to ask
Yes.
your guitar
Thank
related
you.
question that you forgot earlier. Awesome.
I appreciate that.
So what else is going on? I'm going to be, so speaking of other YouTube channels and things to do, so I don't know how long ago it was.
Oh, should we talk New Year's resolutions?
No.
Just kidding.
How long ago? We were in the van, so it's been within this year. I was thinking it was this past summer. I totally killed our website, right? And we haven't had a website since then, so I am working on building that back up so that we can have a website and more merch and etc.
Somebody just texted me and said, "Are you still selling your SG Junior?" And he is somebody that has the money to buy it right now, and I'm going to tell him no.
Ooh.
Yep. I'm keeping it.
Pat Philosopher has to get back to work. A lot of people are like connecting over like Canadian and Ohio.
Nice.
I still can't talk.
Awesome.
I don't know.
Well,
You have to carry it.
I guess if everybody is just chilling tonight, I really appreciate you all being here. I will say that we're going to talk about it more next week because next week is the last week of the year. So we're going to have we're going to have a few things next week. We're going to have a video every day next week, I think. Because we're going to have...
Are you talking about guitar stuff again?
Kind of. I want to talk next Thursday about some of the things that we're doing in 2023. Because I'm really excited about it. Next week is also going to be the best of 2022 video. Best gear of 2022. So make sure you go to the survey, the link in the description. I also am going to probably do another video about our best stuff of 2022 according to you. So I got the idea again from knife videos because all these knife companies have been like the best knives of 2022. And it's actually the ones they sold the most of. So we're going to talk about that pickup wise, what y'all bought the most of and what I'm the most proud of and etc. I was listening to a podcast today and Big KO from Run DMC and Eddie Martinez is the guy who played all the guitar on all the Meatloaf stuff and like all the Robert Palmer stuff, Patti LaBelle. Anyway, they were talking about my P90s and how awesome they were. And I was like, dang, this is pretty sweet. So we're going to talk about some of that stuff next week. So there's probably going to end up being a video every day next week. So I'm pretty excited about that.
All right. The people are coming through.
Oh, they are. Cool.
Angel Raven 444 says, what's your New Year's resolutions? Dylan and Leslie.
I don't really make New Year's resolutions because I don't do things like that way. I don't think that way. My thing is daily. And like I literally have notepads full of making notes of things I want to do better tomorrow. And so I don't really I have goals for next year for sure. There's things that I want to do next year that business-wise and maybe some travel stuff and some concepts that I'm working on with other people and collaborations and stuff like that. I'll tell you about some of that stuff next week, but I don't really do New Year's resolutions. You don't either, do you?
No, and I would say absolutely not. You say I don't really. I'm like, no.
Well, that's true. I don't either. Yeah, I don't.
No, it's just another day.
Yep.
I have in the past. So I definitely think you should reflect on the year that just completed, and you should think about where you want to go the next year. But I don't feel those are resolutions. But I definitely think I'm more reflective over the past year than I am like going forward, because similar, like I just want to be better every day. So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
And we talk about this every day. Like we talk about stuff every day. So it's not like a surprise like, oh, you know what I want to do next year? Like it's never really a surprise with us, I don't think.
so related to
Mm-hmm.
that question, I lost it. Doc Stiltonen said, I think you should talk about your expansion plans for the next year.
Yeah, I mean, expansion plans. We'll talk about that next week. Because I would like to probably be able to articulate that a little bit better so that I make sure that I'm speaking fully. Should probably talk to you about. I mean, I don't have anything. I don't have any ideas that I have not spoken with you about already.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some things that we have in flux right now and in concept form and collaborations and stuff that I don't have totally nailed down yet. So I don't really want to talk about them yet. As far as around here, it's real simple. I showed her today a goal that I wanted to reach for 2022, and I think I'm going to miss it by this much. And so I would like to be able to hit that next year. Would be pretty cool. And
I mean, I hope it's way more than that.
Yeah, same. I agree.
Business growth wise, that would be a very small percentage.
Business growth wise, it would be yeah. We want to hit some goals next year. We also, we've got another person in the shop now, and our son works for us, and he is killing. He's so good at this stuff. And so to give him a fuller share next year of what we're doing and to train him on more things so that he's digging what he's doing and always learning. Because I don't want him to get bored with what he's doing. So he's always learning too. And no, we have a lot of neat things happening. Collaborations with other YouTube channels, other guitar gear companies. Things in the works. We've got I'm working on a signature model of a pedal or a pickup for another guitar player right now, which I've never done before. So I'm pretty excited about that. We've got some neat stuff happening, and we've got probably a new location for classes next year. So we're going to do classes in Colorado and in Nashville next year, which is huge, and some other stuff. So we'll expound on that some more next week.
Yeah, and then on the other side, I kind of touched on that. We're going to get the website back up and get the merch back up and write again and have that total outlet more fleshed out for the personal content.
Yeah, we hope to
lifestyle.
Have... Yes. So speaking of lifestyle brand, we hope to have a bunch more content and honestly stuff you can buy on our other website and our other YouTube channel. It doesn't have anything to do with guitars, but it's a creative outlet for us. It also shares with you what we're doing, stuff that's important to us. And we also have other creative outlets outside of guitar stuff. I mean, I'm a photographer, we both are. And we have all kinds of other little art-related and creative ideas that need another outlet other than Dylan Talks Tone. So those things are going to start to happen very soon.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to buy my prints. You'll be able to, I mean, we've got prints already that you could buy, but you just don't know about it. We have some really cool photos. Historic stuff, really, really neat stuff. And I'm really proud of it, but you just don't know about it yet because we have not taken the time to do it.
You can put it places. One, we don't have control over it. I think we can have a little bit tighter rein with what we're going to do next. But I think that's important. Like, we have to tell the story. Like, why is this picture here? Because we don't want to just be like an artist website. It is for our audience to tell our stories. So it just means a little something different.
Yep. No, that's really true. Yeah.
Hang on one second.
Yeah, we're not just selling merch. We're telling our story because we do it every day.
Super chat from Randy Crooks. Thank you for the super chat. He says, I am having a guitar fetish kit fabric topped. Ooh, I'm thinking of a tele pickup, both single coil. Any suggestions?
Yeah, if you're gonna do if you're gonna do tele pickups, go to Dylan Talks Tone and do flat 6 tele pickups in it. You'll like them. They're mid 60s inspired, with a little bit of the better stuff from the 50s kind of thrown in there too. I really like them a lot.
Cool. Thank you, Randy.
And thank you for using the super chat to talk about guitar stuff after 9 o'clock. I really appreciate that.
Unless he's like in the beginning and doesn't know we're in the end.
That could be true.
Ooh. Solano Speed Shop says, come hang out in SoCal sometime in 23. I'd love to buy you an adult bevy.
That's we'll have to see. The NAMM show is in April.
Is it?
Yeah. And so we gotta look at our calendar. We're just saying, you were just saying the other day that the 23 calendar is already gonna fill up faster than we think.
Because
yep.
A lot of months already have things.
Yep.
Eric Davis says, do OTFs have enough grip to keep your hand from migrating up to the blade?
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Because the button becomes that, and
it's harder than you think.
Yeah, it's much.
You don't do it easy.
Yeah, it's much harder action than you think, and it's also this one especially because this is the big one.
It's big.
My other one is smaller than this, and hers is even smaller than that. It's real easy, and the shape and the taper of it and everything. No.
And if your thumb did slip, this is not
serrated on the back.
So that was they do make like dagger style, and that did make me nervous. I didn't want a dagger style because I was like, what if I stab myself or something? Or,
because having it
it would be sharp on the top too.
Yeah.
Okay. Angel Raven 444 says, "Come on, Dylan, stop whining pickups and go film a swamp ape instead."
You have no idea how much I want to make making documentary films about things that I'm interested in, the reality. You have no idea how much I want to do that. That's probably not swamp apes, but
if they were there.
But if they were there, I would want to be the one to find them. That's
no
for sure.
Joke. Doc Stilton said, "Oh, travel plans. Come up my way. We can even go to the Alpha for nostalgic reasons."
Did I take you there?
No, we haven't been to Canada.
No, it's on the Michigan side.
No.
But we had the kids with us. Yeah, we had the kids with us.
I've only been there once I've only been there once, and we had kids with us. Rusty said, "Can you recommend any new bands to check out?" I don't know about new. I feel like people are responding in the comments.
I haven't listened to it.
Randy Crook said, "I know we're in the second hour and guitar questions are super chats. Not my first rodeo." Thanks,
You're
Randy.
awesome, man. That's cool. Yeah, I haven't been listening to any new music, but I will say, I don't mean I've not been listening to new music. We went down a whole rabbit hole last week. And I need to probably talk about this on the Tuesday podcast. But that whole thing, the whole Jerry Garcia rap music is garbage or not real music or whatever thing went around on Facebook a couple weeks ago. And I posted it, and man, it turned into a war. And so it sent me down this whole rabbit hole the other night, and you were there because we were sitting there watching in the living room, about hip-hop artists who were incredible musicians. And so we went down this entire rabbit hole of crossover of music and and hip hop versus real musicians, not versus, but being real musicians, and all kinds of really neat live performances. And I don't know, who was what's his face with the tattoos? Post Malone doing Nirvana covers and doing Rooster and all the crazy stuff. Just was really fun. So I've been looking into that, and then it's inspired me to listen to a bunch more music too. In general, I have literally been I thought about it today again, that I have to, with what I do for a living, make sure that music is music and guitars are music, not like religious symbols meant to be argued about on the internet. Like, guitars are to make music and music is to enjoy. So make sure that I lean that direction and away from arguing about tone wood and all that other crap, because it doesn't matter. Like, lean into the music side more. And I'm actually playing more because of that too. So, yeah.
Rusty said, will you be visiting Texas in 2023?
I mean, if we go to California, we're going to go through Texas. So,
as long as we're not going through Colorado, because that feels like the way we go everywhere now.
I feel like we have to go through Colorado. Yeah.
Rangel Raven 444 says, next week, Dylan deep dives into crappy cheap guitars from pawn shops and how to mod them.
Probably not.
Rocket Morton, drive around Oklahoma. We have a lot of people we want to see in Oklahoma.
We have Oklahoma's got a big list, yeah.
Paul needs, Leslie, have you noticed both you and TTG Matt sing your ums? I was like, no, I didn't. But now I'll be self-conscious about it.
Oh my god, that's funny.
I
did not think about that either.
Randy Crook says, I met the both of you at Texas Toast back in June. You were both very kind to me, even though I was unannounced. Randy?
That's who he is. Yeah, him and his buddy came.
The ones that popped
super
in?
tall. Really tall, dude. Yeah, they just popped in. They're like, hey, I'm popping by to say hi because I know you're there.
And they were saying hi to you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I remember. Because I was like so uncomfortable. They were like, where's Dylan? I was like, who are these people?
Yeah. No, I do remember that now. Yeah, right. Because they were traveling through and we were there. And yep, they stopped by. Yep. No, that was awesome. I love being able to meet everybody. That's really cool. Or, as many people as possible.
Rick Bonneville said, I wonder how many people are playing a guitar while watching. That's a great question. I would love to know that too.
I mean, when I'm sitting there listening to Matt, I sit there with a guitar on the couch.
When he's listening to a lot of things, he's sitting there with a guitar.
No, it's true. Yep. There are 3 guitars in the living room at least at all times.
Yep. That is true. Eric Luttinger. Dylan, did you ever compete at Unadilla? It's near me and tons of fun.
We've driven by Unadilla a bunch of times. And
where is it?
No, I have not.
I feel like we looked this up because I was like, where? So there's a tiny, tiny little town in South Georgia where I had some family, and it's Unadilla, Georgia, and that's not the same place.
No, it's not.
Where is it, though?
It's in Michigan, I think.
Michigan? Okay.
If that's the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
Anyway, that's funny.
Yep. Cool.
I caught up again, and now it's 9:38.
Excellent.
Doc says he has this baritone in his hands at the moment.
Nice. Yeah, I would probably sit here with a guitar in my hand, but the problem is that I would play it.
Rocket Morton says, I am. Jeffrey Egan said, not me.
Oh, that's great.
That's cool.
I think it's awesome.
I don't know what his icon is there, but it's like a piece. I don't know if it's like toast and it's like rubbing butter on himself. I love whatever that is.
Is that a cooking mitt?
No, it looks like a piece of toast.
It does look like a piece of toast.
I mean, and now I want toast, but...
I was strumming, now eating.
So what is your picture, Rocket Morton? Can you tell me that? Is it a piece of toast rubbing butter on itself? That's what it looks like to me, but it's only like this big.
That's really funny.
Paul Need says, I'm a very close observer of accents and verbal inflections, almost a collector. We Welsh have a very sing-song accent. And Paul's the one that called me out on that. Unadilla is in central New York.
Oh, I'm thinking of... What is the one in Michigan? There's an off-road track in Michigan that is on like the motocross circuit. I can't think of what it is now.
So what is Unadilla near? I feel like we still have like a whole New York, Northeast thing we need to do. We haven't done that. Yeah, see, Unadilla, Georgia comes up first.
Yep, because you've searched for it before.
No, I haven't. It's probably because it's closer to me. Oh, wow. Okay.
Where is it?
That's Syracuse and Albany's way over here.
Oh, wow. That's like in central New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Right in the middle. So I used to live in Rhinebeck, New York, which is in the Hudson River Valley, about an hour south of Albany. So, yeah. Every single stream, my guitar is in my lap. Millville. That's the one I was trying to think of. Yes, that's the one I was trying to think of. Yeah, they race like stadium trucks and trophy trucks there, and like 1,600 cars and dirt bikes and a bunch of stuff. Yep.
Rocket confirmed that is what his little avatar is. It's a piece of toast rubbing butter on itself.
That's pretty good.
TJ Fulton says, on average, how much gross income is made just from super chats per month?
Not a lot because YouTube takes some of it. So it's not a lot.
And it's only, I mean, you see them because this is really the only time we get
them.
I
mean, if you kept track, you would be able to add them up and see. It's not a lot. YouTube, in general, like the dollars that we get, like I get a YouTube check on the 21st every month. It's not a lot. It would not pay a mortgage. You know what I mean? It's so we're not talking, and I know that there are people, you have to be making probably, I mean, to make a living, you probably got to make 10 times the views that I get. Like, we are not in the league of the amount of views that you need to make money just from that. Like, to be, and definitely not Lamborghini money. Like, a lot of those YouTubers that you see buying a new car every month and stuff, those guys are making 30 grand a day. But that's because they have 4 million subscribers and they have, every video gets 2 million views in 2 days. I think I have 10 million views total over 6 years. So, you know what I mean? So it's a completely different scale of stuff.
Chuck C says, the Glenn Curtis Museum is in central New York. Lots of classic motorcycles is in Hammondsport, New York.
Ah, I know where that is. I would do that.
I know. I was thinking he was like tempting you to go there now.
I would do that for sure. Yeah. Cool. If you ever get a chance to go to, if you're a motorbike guy, if you ever get a chance to go to Barber Motorsports Park in Alabama, I don't drive by there and not stop. That place is unbelievable. Every time I go there, it's unreal. It's a racetrack. But in the infield of the racetrack, they have a museum, and I don't remember how many hundreds of motorcycles and cars, but it's mostly motorcycles. And it is unbelievable. And the last time we were there, there was a race going on, so it was really cool because you'd be like walk through the museum and then walk out, and then there's like these bridges and you can walk across and you can watch the racetrack. It was really cool. It's a really neat place. Barber Motorsports Park in Alabama.
Rocket Morton says 1990s Mercury money.
More like that, yeah. Yeah, more like that. That's pretty funny.
Doc Silton said not in the Ferrari money category. And then he said, yeah, just keep at it.
I mean, I hope so someday, but at the same time, we laugh about it because you watch like Cletus McFarland and now he's got like the communities, he's worried about the community shutting down his racetrack and stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, more money, more problems, you know what I mean? So on one hand, we really like how simple our life is and what we do for a living, and we really like everything about it. And so not having it complicated is really fun too. But yeah, I wouldn't mind, 1 million subscribers would be cool.
Angel Raven 444 said, what's that guy who lives near you? That guitar guy. He uses Elixir strings and hates Tonewood Talk. He was popular 10 years ago. I think his name is something. And it just has a question mark. I don't know. Are we guessing?
I don't know who you're talking about. He was popular 10 years ago and he lives near me. If he lives near me and he was popular 10 years ago, I would have beat him.
Well, you weren't here.
Yeah, I know, but I probably was watching YouTube. I mean, I can think of a few people. Yeah, I can think of a few people.
He said that was a joke about mechanic bills when he said the 1990s Merc money.
It's for real. Awesome. You guys, this has been super fun. Thanks for hanging out with us, and thanks for hanging out into the after hours. And, yeah. Oh, look at this. 63 people watching, and there are 63 likes.
Well, there was more earlier, so not everybody liked it.
I know, but I appreciate it a lot.
Look, it matches right now. That never happens. Oh, somebody's like on and off.
I appreciate
it a
lot.
I want to wait like 2 seconds so we can see if... I mean, it'll take you that long to say bye. You're definitely a Southerner now. You say bye a really long time.
Actually, I don't have much more to say.
Oh. All right. Yeah, they're just telling you things to get you to come to New York now. I'm assuming Chuck C is in.
You don't have to give me excuses to come to New York. I used to live there. I love it there. I'd totally come. It's just a matter of trying to figure it out. When to do it. Putting it on our schedule. All that kind of deal.
Cool. I'm watching the Saturday Night Live Christmas sketch, Sweaty Balls with Alec Baldwin.
Oh,
that's a classic.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Classic.
Yep. All right, y'all. We will see you tomorrow at noon with a review of the Maestro pedals from Gibson.
Ooh.
And then another video on Monday. Thanks for hanging out.